Life after turning 30, part 1. I will make 2 videos about this. The first video will be more about my relationship to time and how I find my place of peace in this situation and how to find this place in this situation and question in the middle of all kinds of impulses. And the second video will be more about reacting to all kinds of expectations that society has towards us. Turning 30 is usually something that many people are frustrated about. When you turn 30, you are not old, but you are not that young anymore. And in this video, I collect all my experiences regarding this. I am 30 now, and first of all, let me tell you, if you were conscious in your 20s, then it will be great to be 30, and I would never change for my 20-year-old self because a lot of things were unstable and uncertain, including my existential, career, relationship status, not to mention my self-knowledge. I am much more confident now, and this is a great feeling. I don't really focus on what people will like in me. I don't stress about that, but I am curious what I will like about others. This might sound a little bit egoistic, but if you are not delusional about yourself, this state of mind is actually very liberating. If you are frustrated about getting older, here is the thing, and I have bad news for you. We all get older, okay? This is not something we can have a control over. So why stress about it? Let go of this frustration because we all get older, so no matter what. We can't stop time, but what we can do is focusing on how we use our time. It's tricky because when you are young, you really don't sense how fast time goes by. You believe you have the luxury of endless time, but here is a trick. This is not true. So we all have 24 hours a day equally, no matter if you are 17 or 30 or 60 or 90. And the more effective, determined, conscious and hard worker you are in your young years, the more balanced and calm you will be later when you get older. Because you have focused on what was your job to focus on in the right time. And this is important because time does not come back. For certain things, we always have one and only one goal to accomplish in life. I'm using the word accomplish, but this is not the best word for it because what I want to say is rather the idea of grabbing the opportunity when it's there, not letting someone go when they are there for you, admitting something in the right time and in the right situation, accepting that job offer when it's there. The worst thing is the feeling that you regret something and you missed out on something that you could have done or said before. I know they say it's better later than never, and it's true, but what's more important, that for certain things, sooner is much better than later. This is the realistic standpoint. I wanted to be a gymnast, but when this idea came to my mind, I was already 15. A 15-year-old girl is very young, but too old to start a sport like this. Of course, as a very small child, it helps when our parents sometimes make decisions for us, or at least provide us opportunities from what we can choose from. But the earlier you start being conscious about what you want, the better chance you will have to reach success in that, because not only your effort, but time will also work for you. I could have put all my time into training at the age of 15. I would have never been the same level as the other girls who started training half of my then age or even earlier at the age of 5 or 6. Okay, I didn't become a gymnast. Still, here I am contentfully, and I'm not complaining about my life because there was an enlightenment at a relatively young age in my early 20s when it became more clear to me what I do want and what I don't. I would like to highlight that I absolutely support the idea to start anything whenever you feel right to start. If you start something when you are older, it can even add another layer to your everyday life, another source of joy to your life, which is great and very important. But to be realistic, it's very beneficial to start being conscious about time in the younger years, because those years will never come back. I was always a hard worker, and I remember a classmate once telling me that being a hard worker is not enough in life, and oh Lord, was he wrong. Yes, the ideal combination of being clever, talented, skilled, to have good competences, etc. But if you lack any of these, the hard work always pays off sooner or later. Life is a long run, and only those who persevere reach their destination. I would also suggest to avoid ageist older preachers who look down on you. They can be very toxic. I have faced ageist people several times, so I do know the cynicism, how they can react when someone younger is giving advices on aging or aging related things. And to be honest, they were never those kind of people whose life was a good example for me to follow. So what I want to avoid is that kind of frustration what they manifest. So why should I accept someone's advice once their life is not a good indicator for me? I believe, and as far as I have experienced, the only key to avoid becoming someone like them is if you work in the present to be okay with yourself in the future. Carpe diem doesn't lead anywhere, discipline does. Many times these older ageist people preach from a place of frustration, and the frustration comes from what they were not successful in, and you can sense this. Making any kind of decisions from any source of frustration is not a good starting point. It's just not the right path to follow. Do listen to what they say, because you can learn something from anybody, even if they just teach you how not to do things. But apart from this, don't take them too seriously, because they are stubborn people and they might even laugh at you while you don't accept what they say. Be analytical towards yourself and be clear about what you want, because the one and only person who is completely aware of every aspect of your life is you. And because of this, you are the only person who is able to make the most thoughtful decision in your life. Becoming 30 became a big deal, and I have heard stories of anxiety, bad dreams, and complete frustration before or around becoming 30. I don't know the answer where this anxiety actually comes from. Maybe it's personal, maybe society plays a big role in this, but it sounds like the fear of actually becoming adult excuselessly, because you are not in your 20s anymore, and there is no room to waste extra amount of time and push adult responsibilities further away. 30 is 30, but honestly, the feeling of becoming 30 for me was like graduating from university. You have this strange expectations that as a university graduate, a new era will start right after the next day you finished university, that your life will be different. But when I got there, the next day was almost the same day as before. I got up in the morning, had breakfast, set new goals, went for a run, made plans for my future, cooked my dinner, met my friends. This was what I felt when I became 30. There was no line from the next day saying that you are 30 now, and from now on everything will be different. Not at all. It's in your head. Everything was pretty much the same as before. And this is good news, because this also means that if you want changes in your life, it only depends on you and on your choices, your plans. And when you have a clear vision of your choices and you will know how to carry out your plan, a lot depends on how you manage your time for the execution of the plan. But if all depends on you. Maybe new era did start in my life after university and after becoming 30, but the shift was not that sharp, because new eras don't know time. They don't know when it's time for them to happen. They are not conscious phenomenons. You have to create them. You have to manage them. It is all about your choices. It's up to you, up to your decisions. And when big changes happen externally and unexpectedly, the turnout depends on your reaction to them. This was part 1 of my opinion about turning 30, and there will be another video, so stay tuned. Bye.